وقل رب أدخلني مدخل صدق وأخرجني مخرج صدق واجعل لي من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا وقل جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا.
So these jama'at today, Ihyaa Turaath al-Islami, and their figurehead Abdur Rahman Abdul Khaliq, to this day is their figurehead, a Sheikh Salah, who is a'lam than all of these people about Ihyaa Turaath, all of the people in this country. The likes of Sheikh Muhammad al-Anjari, the likes of Ahmed Subai, the likes of Tariq al-Subai, the likes of Sheikh Rabi, Muhammad ibn Hadi, the figurehead of this organization. One mukhalafat does he have? Is it just one? Ya ikhwan, in the issue of takfir, in the issue of disrespect and dishonoring Ahlul Ilm, in the issue of Tawheed al-Hakimiyyah as a fourth category, in the issue of accommodating the groups and the parties, in the issue of politics, he is with the Shia. Because he makes this one of the goals of the Sharia, as one of the major goals of the Sharia, this Hakimiyyah. That's why he invented it, or that's why he propagated it as a fourth category of Tawheed. How many mukhalafat, ya ikhwan? Yet we say no. Look at the Sahaba, look at the Prophet, look at the advice of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam with regard to these individuals. So the Salaf of this ummah were careful with regard to this affair. They were careful, ya ikhwan, that the root of a tree, biting onto it and holding onto it, even if it means that for a long time that you are on your own. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ said, up until that you bite onto the roots of the tree, up until death reaches you. You could be upon that for a very long time, suffering the harms of the people around you who oppose the sunnah of Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but you remain with your teeth firmly attached, with your molars upon the sunnah of Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Addu alayha bin nawajid, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, living and dying upon that. Us and our children and our families, and that's what we wish for the communities. We don't wish to tolerate bid'ah. Salafi doesn't tolerate mukhalafat. He doesn't accept them. To the usul, he doesn't accept them. But he advises them, after telling them that the Quran and the Sunnah doesn't accept this, then he advises them and informs them that death is more beloved to us than to stick to one of those innovations. Whether it be the innovations of the Shia, or the Jahmiyyah, or the Murji'ah, or the Mu'tazila, or the Khawarij, or Ikhwan, or Jamaat Tabligh, or other than them, or Turaath. As Sheikh Salah, when he was asked the question, Ya Sheikh, the difference between us and you, between us, meaning the Salafiyin, and between Ihyaa Turaath al-Islami, is it something that is ijtihadi, or is it something that is aqadi? Is it in the aqidah that we differ with them, or is it with the issues of ijtihad, yani something that is tolerated between the Muslims? He said, if it was something by way of just something ijtihadi, we would never have fought them. Our differing with them is in the aqidah. That's why Sheikh Rabi wrote 3 books against this mujrim, Abdur Rahman Abdul Khaliq. That's why Sheikh al-albani said that his manhaj is ikhwani. That's why Sheikh Muqbil said that he's mubtadi'. That's why Sheikh Ubaid al-Jabri refuted him and Muhammad ibn Hadi refuted him. That's why Sheikh Ibn Baz condemned him and commanded him with tawbah. Abdul Aziz bin Baz. That's why Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen, in many of the questions that were asked about Abdur Rahman Abdul Khaliq, he criticized the speech of Abdur Rahman Abdul Khaliq. That's why Ahmed al-Najmi criticized him. Some of them tabdi', but many of them tabdi' and many of them just tahdhir. So Shaykh al-Albani refuted him, warned against him. He did not consider him to be upon the Siraat al-Mustaqim. That's why he said his manhaj is ikhwani. Is your manhaj ikhwani and you are upon Siraat al-Mustaqim? How is that possible? He says that he is upon tahazzub, he is upon hizbiyyah. Are you upon the Siraat al-Mustaqim and you are upon hizbiyyah? Shaykh al-Albani warned against him, but Shaykh al-Albani, he held back from tabdi', held back from declaring him to be an innovator. And Shaykh Ahmed Bazmoor, Hafidhahullah Ta'ala, the beautiful speech of this noble Shaykh of Mecca, He said that you find from some of the people, because of their jahl of the usul and the manhaj of Ahlul Sunnah, they say that fulan and fulan, that he has akhtar, that he has errors in the manhaj, errors in the aqidah. But we still consider him, so long as we don't make tabdi upon him, that we don't abandon him. Sheikh Bazmul mentioned that so long as he has mukhalafat to the usul of Ahlul Sunnah, opposition to the usul, then we warn against his errors, and we warn against him if he persists upon it, even if we are not in a position to make tabdi'. So just because when you say to fulan and fulan, I'll warn you against sitting with him, they say, are you saying he's muqtadi'? I don't have to say he's muqtadi'. I don't have to say that he's an innovator. All I have to say is that he calls to bid'ah, and that he defends their innovators. And he's an individual that if you sit with him, he will misguide you. Why do I have to declare him to be an innovator? Why? Because they want to put you in the category of tabdi'. Oh, tabdi'. So straight away they can say, oh, you're Haddadi. Not everyone who makes tabdi' upon everybody else is Haddadi. Ahmed bin Hanbal, how many people he makes tabdi' upon? Was he munharif? He was an imam of the sunnah. When he declared Muhasibi muqtadi', Al-Karabisi muqtadi', Ibn Kullab muqtadi', declared them to be innovators. Yaqub bin Shayba, he said muqtadi, dalun, sahib hawa. Why? Because that was the reality of these individuals, ya ikhwan. As a protection that we hold on to the truth, and these du'as that are standing upon the doors of Jahannam, that they don't mislead the ummah. This is the reason why, ya ikhwan. Not because he's black, not because he's Arab, not because he's Somali, not because he's Pakistani. It's got nothing to do with that. If he stands upon the doors of Jahannam, calling me, my family, my children, you, your family, your children, my neighbor, his family, his children, he's calling them in the direction of the hellfire by standing at the gates of the hellfire. But they are too ignorant to recognize, or they don't know haqq from batil, because they never studied the deen and they never studied the usul, that we're supposed to stay silent whilst these callers who stand up on the gates of Jahannam, that they call the people to Jahannam and we stay silent. This is not the way of the Salafi, this is not the way of the Prophet ﷺ. This is not the way of the best ummah that was raised up for mankind.